Hello and welcome back to the channel and another video on the Mark IV Golf, my 2.8 V6 4Motion. And today we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to do the gearbox, change the oil on the gearbox because it's making a little bit of a whining noise. And previously, in a previous episode, I went to see Bick down at my local MOT station, and he gave me suggestions and helped me on problems with the Golf, which is why we've got it all up to standards, all up together now, all up to back to original, apart from the headlining, which is now all been in a black suede, which I will leave links up here and down below for all of my videos that I've done on this Golf, because it is looking mint. And that headlining is amazing. I'm surprised it hasn't got as many views as I was expecting, because that headlining has come out really, really well. I would actually suggest go have a look, see how I got on with that. But today, the plan is we're going to do the gearbox oil. So I've got a top tip on that, because you don't want to be spending loads of money on a socket, because I did have a look at the price of the sockets to remove the gearbox oil. I know Bick did say, "Oh, come down, you can borrow the Allen key, the hex key to undo it." And you know, as great as that is, I hate borrowing tools, because you know, if something happens, if I break his tool or something, then you know I am responsible for that tool, and I would just rather own the tool myself. So I had a look, and the tool itself is about £10. Just Campers do it for £7, but then you got delivery. And then I looked into, what about if I just get a set of hex keys, you know, the larger sizes, and they're like 25-30 quid. So I thought, hold on a minute, what if I do this? Right, so this is what I've got here. I've just got a bolt and a nut on the end, and that bolt, because I thought, you know, what I'm going to do is I'll get a bolt, shove it in the hole into the hex key, and we'll undo it that way. I've only got one bolt and one nut, which is the right size. So unfortunately, I mean, if I had two nuts, I could quite easily just lock the two nuts together, and then use the hex end as the actual socket itself. This socket was a 17mm, because everyone on the forum saying, "Oh, it's a 17mm." So I've got a 17mm bolt, and it turns out it's a 14mm. So I've had to do quite a lot of filing on there to get it down to size. So that's now the right size, and it fits into the gearbox drain plug and the gearbox fill plug. And then once we've got all of that done, and I'm happy that the gearbox is good, we have got ourselves a one-man brake flush system. Because previously, when I've done the clutch master cylinder, not only on this Golf but on the Vectra as well, and whenever I do brakes, it's hard work bleeding all the system on your own. And because I'm always out here on my own, very rarely do anyone come around and help. Maybe in the summer when the weather's good, people come around and give me a hand, but you know, when it's crap weather, no one wants to be outside getting on with things. And I say crap weather because it keeps on raining, but I'm still going to get on with this. So we've got the one-man kit, which is going to come in really helpful. So without further ado, let me show you what I'm doing. So down here, is it going to follow me down? We've got the old welding machine out down here, all set up, all ready to go, because in the vise I have ready my homemade tool. Right, let me turn you around and I'll show you. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, what the plan is, turn this around. Right, so the plan is we're going to weld this up. I've got it down to size now. It's not going to focus, is it? So I've got it, it's all filed down to size. We'll weld it up in there. I'll then cut the end off, weld it up, and then this end, which is a 17, we'll go for a 17mm socket, and then that, which is now a 14, will then be able to undo the fill and drain plugs. So the plan of action is to actually undo the fill plug first and then the drain plug, because if you can't undo your fill plug and you undo the drain plug and you drain all that oil out, yeah, you ain't going anywhere until you get that drain plug, that fill plug out. And if it's jammed in there, or if you round it off, or if something happens, yeah, you're not going to be driving the car anywhere. So always remove your fill point first. Well, that's my top tip. So let's get ahead, weld all this up, like I said, cut it all off, and then we'll get out the front and we will do the gearbox oil change. Right, so this is that tool that I made. Actually it took me about 15 minutes in total, not bad at all. Pretty happy with that, it's all welded up. And I know it's good because I just used it, and following my own advice, I've already gone ahead, loosened the fill point, and the drain plug just under here and that's such a good fit, it stays in there, that's perfect. And now I can either get the spanner on there and give it a yank, or use the socket. So because that one was actually quite tight, I'm going to get the socket on there. We'll rag that off, and then we'll drain the fluid out. And we'll have a look to see how bad it is.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the middle of the set never left. She's so bad that the chief made the brag. The gas in the middle.
Yeah, cut little bits there. Oh dear, cut little bits on that end of that magnet. Oh dear. Nah, she's alright. Couple of bits of dirt in there. Nothing too major, nothing to worry about. Fresh oil will sort that out. Right, so we are ready now to Philip. Philip? Who's Philip? Right, so although we're ready to fill up the oil, I've got one of these Sealy suction syringe, and that little bit of dirt that I found on the end of the sump plug, I thought it might be magnetic, and checking to make sure it's not metal, got myself a magnet, put a little bit of cloth over it, stuck the old sump plug to it, pulled it away, and this little bit is not actually magnetic at all, and there's no filings, there's nothing in there to make me think that there's anything untoward going on with that gearbox. So I reckon it's absolutely fine. What we'll do is I'm just leaving it to completely drain out, and then I can clean that up, we'll put it all in and we fill her up.
But I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed.
Right, so unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but I turned around and the camera was actually off, so for some reason it stopped recording and turned itself off. But it is all filled up now, and it's, I don't know if you noticed on camera, well I don't even know how much it's filmed actually, but I was actually making sure that this hose was actually pushed in and sort of it goes in through the hole and then goes over. Otherwise, if it catches on the thread, you may accidentally think you've already filled it up when you haven't. So you want to make sure that it is definitely all the way in, and then when it does run out, you know that it is full. And if you want to know how much I've actually put in, I put in 2.3 litres. plus whatever that is. That's plus whatever's sort of like dripped out. But yeah, 2.3 litres to fill your gearbox oil up. I'm pretty sure, well, we'll find out in a minute, but I don't think there's even 2 litres in there. Don't look like much in there at all. Right, so I've just emptied and drained out that metal tin, and I've actually taken out 2 litres. So there was 2 litres of gearbox oil in there, and that as well. Looks very watery. But obviously it's not, because otherwise it would have gone all milky and creamy. But that's absolutely fine. The next job, I've got the old brake cleaner out. Brake cleaner. Brake pressure system. Sorry, I've just stopped for a cup of tea because it started raining and I thought, oh no, I don't want to be doing this when it's raining. Because to do the brakes, I don't have to jack the car up, and I don't have to take the wheels off. But what I do have to do is lie underneath the car, which is not something I want to be doing if the floor is going to be soaking wet. I do have like a carpet that I could take around to each corner, and it's not even hard, is it, to flush your brake system? Yeah, so we'll be using that system to get all of the old brake fluid out. We'll bleed the clutch as well, so the clutch will get fresh fluid, although I did bleed the clutch when I done the master cylinder. But yeah, I'm just going to put fresh new fluid into the whole system. But I guess we'll do that when it stops raining. Right, I'll see you next time when we do that. Happy days, take care, stay safe, God bless.